Well, hello and welcome to the channel if you haven't been here before. I'm Phantom567459 or Dark Phantom. And, I usually do Battlefront videos, but we have something special in mind for this video. I've worked with Battlefront for a long time, and the spiritual predecessor to it is this game we see on the screen here, Star Wars: The Clone Wars. Now, it's a game that people have wanted to mod for a long time. And I think we're finally at the realm where it will be possible. So, I'm going to demonstrate two missions here real quick, and just kind of show the beginning, and then we'll skip ahead and we'll show a modded version of both missions. Now, I do want to give some background while the game is loading. This game is very hard-coded, but I believe we do have some flexibility in this.
I see them too. Power up.
I'm gonna go ahead and skip this cutscene. And you can see we've got our IFTX here.
Mace, I'll concentrate on the turrets.
Or IFTT.
You take care of the rest.
Someone's gonna get me on that one. But anyway, you run through this whole mission with the IFT tank. There we go. No one will get me on that. And that's all we're gonna kind of show on this mission. And we'll have one other thing to show. I'm gonna go back. There's a really popular multiplayer level that apparently I can't find videos for. But because the account I'm playing on does not have it unlocked, I'm gonna cheat. So if you're wondering, this is the Xbox version. I'm hoping that whatever changes we make will be portable to all three versions, but we'll have to see. Right now, we're just working with the Xbox version mostly because it's a little bit more accessible and easier to work with, from my perspective. So we have this, almost every single mission in this game is tank-based. However, there's one mission in multiplayer that is not, and it is the Geonosis Academy. So, whenever you launch this, it's going to ask you to pick a character. And we have 4 characters. We have Anakin, Mace, Obi-Wan, and some generic Jedi. I'm going to go ahead and be some generic Jedi, just to kind of show how the map works. And then we're going to show a modded version.
Wave 1 commencing.
So we got our generic Jedi here. He can use the Force. He can throw his lightsaber, and he can swing his lightsaber. Pretty boring, all things considered. All of the Jedi do the same thing. I think their animations might be slightly different, and I might be giving them too much credit because I haven't paid attention. I think Mace has some unique animations, but I think the other ones all pretty much use the Jedi animation. So there's all the 4 characters we can pick from. And you just play wave combat, and the waves get harder and harder. Eventually you do get some NPCs to load in to help you. Now, there's no way to legitimately access the NPCs in this game. I think there might be cheat codes, but I'm not 100% sure.
Commencing.
Honestly, I was lucky to find this cheat code to unlock all the missions. But anyway, let's move on here. Alright, I skipped ahead a little bit because it was just me rambling, and I figured we'd rather just get straight into it. So this is a modded version of the data.zwp file. So what we're going to do is we're going to select Mission 2, the one we did earlier, and we're going to load in. And initially the cutscene is going to look the same, but after we load into the map, we are going to have a different vehicle. We have the assault tank that we mostly use on Thule and I think it's mostly on Thule. I don't know that there's anywhere else you really use the assault tank.
You take care of the rest.
But seems like the sounds are working okay. I was a little bit afraid that they wouldn't, but we've got the mortars. They work correctly. And I haven't tested the whole mission, but I assume that we can walk through the whole mission with it without any issues. It's just going to be much slower than using the tank. But you could theoretically make it faster. What I did was there's two different ways you can do this. I modified the world to have this be what I spawned as. What we're going to see in the multiplayer academy mission that we saw in the first one is I'm going to take an existing character that was hard-coded in and modify their ODF, their object file, to make me spawn as someone else. And in classic fashion, I actually cannot access that until I put in the cheat code again. Alright, over to the academy. And we're going to launch in as a very specific character, and we're going to pick Obi-Wan this time. We don't want generic Jedi here. Now, we're going to see I have completely redefined Obi-Wan. I've also modified the map a little bit. There's a pillar where there's not supposed to be one. If I respawn, we can actually get on top of the pillar.
Wave 1 commencing.
Oh, actually I don't even have to respawn. We spawn inside the pillar here. So I put a pillar right on spawn, and you can see immediately we are Padme Amidala. And we have a gun. And that's it. None of the other buttons work. Now, you could modify Queen Amidala, or Padme, I guess she's not Queen anymore. You could modify Padme here to have force powers or whatever you want. Because it's at your fingertips. Now, I just put in her default set, and I was actually surprised it worked straight away because you're not supposed to be able to play as her. But everything looks like it's working correctly. It's just the only thing she can do is shoot. And anyway, that's where we're at so far with this. I'll hopefully have some tools up soon that will allow you to extract and recompile all of this.
Wave 3 commencing.
Before anybody asks, I know it's going to come up. I coded the program to extract the data file myself. I had some references, but ended up being much easier for me to just rewrite it because I did not have a version of the program that cut apart and repacked the ZWP file.
Wave
so there's
4
just a couple more changes that need to be made to it, especially with the compression. I have to use a separate file to compress everything. It's a standard format, but for some reason Microsoft decided that they would modify the standard format, which kind of sucks. And now we're getting gunned down here by a bunch of droids. Oh, you can actually see, here's the NPC Padme, still perfectly intact.
Wave 5 commencing.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else, but I believe that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you all have a great day.